Hi, I'm Kelsey. What's your name?
Hi, Kelsey. I'm Gabe.
Gabe, is that the name you like to be called, or do you prefer a different name?
Yeah, well, my full name is Gabriel,
Gabriel.
but I just call him, people call me Gabe.
Called
So.
Gabe?
Mhm.
Alright, awesome. So, Gabe, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a single dad, and I'm working right now, and it's just really hard with that, like having a child and going to work. Plus, I like to go to the gym a lot, and I do want to stay fit with that with myself. I like to stay fit, but with balancing everything else, it's hard.
Okay. So you like to work out.
Mhm.
Is that your main hobby, or do you have any other?
I mean, I
hobbies?
like to, when I can, if I do have time, play softball or basketball. But other than that, then pretty much just working out.
Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
Do you like go out with friends to
I don't.
like events? You don't?
Mm-mm.
You don't have time to?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Well, before we get into our session, I'm just going to clarify how this whole session works.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk for about 15 minutes, and in that 15 minutes, we're going to take a thinking break. And I'm just going to step out of the room for a few minutes and let us both be able to think about what we've talked about today. And I'm going to talk to my coworkers about what we've discussed. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Also, everything that you say today is completely confidential,
Mm-hmm.
unless you mention harming yourself or others.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, awesome. So what brings you in today? You mentioned that you have a kid, you're a single dad, and you work.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have problems managing your time with that?
Yeah, because I feel like I don't give my son enough attention. You know, he's always either at a babysitter's house or in school or aftercare. So I just want to be more of a dad to him than I was been able to right now.
Okay.
Because my job is I'm working long hours and sometimes on the weekends. So it's pretty hard.
Okay, so how many hours do you usually work a day?
A day, I'd say 9 hour, 10 hour shifts.
Okay. So what's the usual time that you pick your son up from daycare?
I would say, well, there's aftercare, but then it ends at 6, and I usually don't get off till about like 9.
Okay.
So it's, I mean, I do take him to school in the morning because I don't get to work around until about 9 or 8. So I do take him to school, but I do pick him up around, we have a friend that his friend picks him up, his grandma picks him up too. So they just go to her house and stay there.
Okay.
And I pick him around like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
So when you pick him up and by the time you get home,
it's already bedtime.
You both are ready to go to bed and you just
Mhm.
crash.
Mhm.
You don't have any time to spend with each other.
No.
Okay. And that's usually every day and sometimes the weekends?
Just about, yeah. I mean, we do go to church on Saturdays. That's pretty much the only time I have with him is Saturdays. So.
Okay, so what are some of the activities that you do with him on Saturday?
Well, we go to church and then we go have lunch, and sometimes we like to go to the park. And I want to get him in a little league, but it's hard to be able to do that because, like I said, I work all the time, and I would need someone to take him there all the time. And point of it was for him to have fun, but I also want to see him have fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually on Saturdays we go to the park or something and throw some play catch or something like that. So.
Well, it's nice that you actually get to do that once in a while.
Yeah.
And be able to interact like that. So what do you do for your job?
Well, I'm a salesperson at a paper company.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's pretty difficult because we're not like Staples or all that. We're just a independent company, and we're kind of getting hard now because Staples and Office Depot, they're all kind of running us out of business. So.
Do you enjoy what you do?
Yeah. I'd much rather be doing something else, but I can't. That's what I have now. So.
Okay. What's your dream job?
My dream, I would say a sports lawyer, like, you know, being an agent for like one of the athletes in like baseball or basketball, something like that, you know, be the person who tells them if it's the right deal to take or something like that. I just think that's really exciting.
Could you see yourself being able to do that in the future?
I think it's too late. Yeah.
You'll just stick to your.
I mean, I don't have time. I don't have the time to go back to school to learn that, you know. because if I stop working or if I take on school also plus the job, then I won't see him at all. So that's why I don't think I'll be able to do that.
Okay. So, where's the mother in the picture? Is she?
She actually died. So
Died?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
How old is your son?
He's 5.
5.
Mm-hmm.
How old was he when
He was 2.
2 years old. Okay. Is he handling that okay?
A little bit. I mean, he was pretty young, so he didn't really like have that deep connection with her. But yeah, he still misses her. I show him pictures of her all the time. And
does he ask a lot of questions about her?
Yeah.
Have you thought about cutting back on hours so you'd be able to spend more time with your son, considering he's dealing with this big loss?
Yeah, I mean, I have, but it's just hard because my job is not really flexible with that. So it's hard for me to like tell them if I don't want to risk it and be like they just cut my hours like completely in half, then I won't be making enough money to support both of us. So.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a strange question.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna go home today after the session, and you're gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
And while you're sleeping, a miracle is gonna happen.
It's hypothetical.
This miracle is that your problem is totally gone.
Okay.
So you're not gonna know that the miracle has happened until you wake up, obviously, because you were sleeping.
Yeah.
So when you wake up in the morning, what will you first notice that's different?
The stress is gone. Just like a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Okay.
I think that would be the first thing I notice.
Okay. What would your son notice different about you?
I think I'd be more like happy like all the time, you know, because I feel like when I come home I'm just like so drained with everything that I look like I'm dead.
Okay.
So I think that's what he would notice.
What would your family notice different?
I'm not sure actually because we don't see them often because they live back in Miami. So.
Okay. What about your friends or your coworkers?
I think I'd be more upbeat. Like, you know, I'd be a little more giddy than I've been. So.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a scaling question, and it's from scale 0 to 10, 0 being you totally hate your life, and 10 being you have no problem at all. So, thinking back to the miracle, where would you rate yourself on that scale?
I mean, my wife wouldn't be back, so she'd still be gone, so it wouldn't be like a 10. But I believe it'll be a good like 8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty high.
Yeah, because I would enjoy more time with my son, so that just automatically gives it.
Okay.
Yeah, a boost.
Now thinking realistically now, where would you rate yourself?
Right now?
Scale right now, yeah.
I think I would say 4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not quite in the middle?
Yeah.
Almost?
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're going to take a little thinking break for a few minutes. And so I just want you to sit here and just think about what we talked about. I'm going to go talk to my coworkers and I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright?
Yeah.
Thank you. Alright, I'm back. So my coworkers and I were talking, and we just think that you've been doing really well, being able to handle your work and your son and handling all the stress and still trying to find time to spend time with your son and handling the death of your wife, and we just think that you've been doing really well with that. And have you been able to, thinking back to the miracle again, have you seen any of those good things happen in the past week, like in one day, like being less stressed or happy? Have you seen any of that
When I
happen?
come home and I with my son, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So when that happens, where would you put yourself on the scale?
I think just about, so that short amount of time, I think like about 7 or 8, yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty high up.
Yeah, because like I just like seeing him having that just quick, like, like everything's good.
Okay. So, you've been going through a lot. You have a job that you work at like basically all day, all week, and you have a son that you're not able to really spend time with, and you don't really know how to make time for him, except like one day out of the weekend. But that's honestly better than nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you just don't really know how to manage your time.
Yeah.
And
I do think I could do better.
Okay. So what are some ways do you think you could make it better?
I think first just talk to my boss and see if we can work something out. And I can just cut back just a little bit in time and not like he getting really mad and it just like completely like cut my nose in half. And then also be able to maybe come home a little early and just spend more time with him. So.
Right. Yeah, that sounds really good, and I think that you can continue working on that. Do you want to come back for a next session?
Yeah, I think it's good. But,
do you want the same time?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Are you thinking like a week, 2 weeks, a month?
Like intervals? Or like from now?
From now, like in a
I'd
week.
say maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Alright, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks, on Thursday at 3 o'clock?
That sounds good, yeah.
Alright, awesome. And in that session, we'll come up with more solutions and goals that you can start building to spend more time with your son.
Well, that sounds good.
Alright, thank you for coming in.
No problem.